Bitcoin squabble, I think they're just being babies. I mean, dang, like I had thought these people who were a lot smarter and richer than me knew what they were doing, but that's the beauty of the free market. They don't seem to, and money is just flowing out. And with a fork, I mean, look at the alternatives and look at Ethereum Classic versus Ethereum. Like, I don't think both halves will move forward substantially. I mean, they'll both get screwed. I mean, one's going to be a shadow, and one's going to say, see, we fixed it, we're back. Anyone? Dash? Ethereum? Is anyone still there? I mean, they're going to look around and nobody might be there. Just like crickets chirping and miners caterwauling, and Bitcoin just figured out what happens when you try to go to anarchy. I mean, nobody gets along, factions formed, the miners got power, greedy, blew up the system, ignoring users' needs and fears, and now they're going back multiple steps. It seems to me Ethereum has a plan, listens to interests of users and enterprises, and is capable of making decisions. You can have authority and still listen and fix mistakes, and some central authority just helps. In Ethereum's case, sounds like the same with Dash. And this time it isn't a false hype with bad coins. I mean, there are good alternatives to Bitcoin. And saying Bitcoin will be a hold of value and other coins will be the coins to be traded with, any of the others can hold value too. And you can trade. I mean, comparing Bitcoin to gold and other coins to silver is just some ridiculous attempt to defend Bitcoin preying on traditional paradigms people think of, but cryptos are totally different than gold or silver or anything that has ever been around before. And, I mean, it seems like, I mean, there's gamblers pumping up the Bitcoin price. I mean, what do you think is going to happen when a fork occurs? I mean, less hash rate, two currencies possibly against itself, duplicating coins, flooding, doubling down on this SEC bet that failed twice now. And that was obvious, I thought. I mean, cut losses now. I mean, don't be hopeful and hyped. And, I mean, even financial advisors say, you know, buy the anticipation, sell the event. It's like, that might already be happening. I'd say divest your Bitcoin, and I'm not the only person saying this out there. And who thought the SEC thing would happen? I mean, that was just hype, feeding the foolish. I mean, the earlier you get out, I mean, the less you'll get predated when the big crash happens. And with Bitcoin, there's nothing there right now. I mean, don't be greedy, flee to sensible development. And I don't care what Bitcoin is doing. Like, new highs? Sure, bring them on. I'll buy Ether on the cheap. And eventually, I mean, I think Bitcoin will hit, you know, lows that it's not used to. It's becoming a machine draining capital from the uninformed, late-coming optimists, and it touts values that other cryptos are doing better. Bitcoin is an old on-ramp to the future, which is other cryptos. I mean, read the writing on the wall, which says, Bitcoin, that which made you great, has abandoned you. And switch out. I don't care where you go. I would advise just get out of Bitcoin while it's still high. I mean, I know I'm not going to convince billions of dollars worth of people's opinions, and I don't get anything out of this. It's just word to the wise. Like, I'm saying bail before Bitcoin is scattered and scavenged. And I'm not deliberately trying to be combative with Bitcoin. I mean, I want everybody's money to go up. And I hope Bitcoin can be resurrected, because that'll be good for Ethereum and other cryptos too. I mean, the more positive developments and the more people making money in the broader market, the more people will want to adopt them and learn what cryptos are. But I think people trading Bitcoin right now are just being morons. I mean, look at some of these gamblers with your money and the poor unbanked of the world. I mean, they're causing price disruptions trying to make a quick buck off the Bitcoin name before it tanks. I mean, like, the Argentinians, or if you were one of these poor unbanked of the world again, and you put money into Bitcoin under the guise of world access and a stable hedge against your currency, I mean, it seems like we're just being bastards of the West again and just robbed them of, like, I don't know, a lot. I mean, if they pay, like I saw something, it's like pay a day's wage just to pay the miner's fee to buy a tiny fraction of Bitcoin at like 12 or 1300. It's like those poor people got screwed, dude. It's like the only I hope I see of continued big money and rising value of Bitcoin is this chance, which is perpetually seems being hyped right now, of being the first and only to be publicly traded, which I'm not sure will happen, just to get more people to pour money into it for the sake of pouring money into it to raise the price. But just like name recognition, I mean, even if that were to happen, I don't think it would last, and the Bitcoin moon will wane. And I think the Ethereum Foundation know their stuff. The more videos I watch on it, the more in favor of it I get. I mean, even the Mist browser will be badass. Like, they are building like a second internet, and that is more than Bitcoin. They're getting more developers, and I mean, a Bitcoin wallet is just a wallet. Like, the Ethereum wallet will be like an internet linking all over to their own apps and enterprises. I mean, it's going to be crazy. And I mean, I don't have that much to play with. If I did, I would diversify more, but I'll get more ether while the getting's good. I mean, it seems to me as near to a sure thing as these things can be. And I mean, I've seen other videos and Anarchapulco and people saying, wow, they came to see Dash. And I mean, if I had money, I'd get into that too. It seems like it has a comparative advantage and better privacy than Bitcoin. And I know that's important to some people. And if that's important to you and you believe that's important to others, I mean, go for it. I mean, I was a Bitcoin only guy for a long time. I thought most alts an age ago were non-starters, and I think a lot of them still are. But I mean, I would tell a good number of just random people about Bitcoin and say, hey, like, check it out. Like, encourage them. But like, now I'm switching to Ethereum. It's like, I think the biggest problem for me with Ethereum would be like, if $10 billion poured in overnight on some random day in the future, and that'd kick me off because I couldn't keep buying it while it's still undervalued. Like, I think it has a great long-term outlook relative to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's so expensive right now, too. I mean, if you were to put the same amount of money into Ethereum that you'd put into Bitcoin, I mean, you're going to have a lot more ether to show for it. And the potential's there if you're interested in gaining. And, I mean, I don't think the risk is there. And watching other people's videos, like Crypto, like I love, he does like a day-by-day, like play-by-play. And has one, like the who's who of planet Earth is going into Ethereum. But I don't know what all will happen with that. But there are definitely a lot of important industry eyes on Ethereum right now. And as much as I want to protect my meager portfolio, I want to be right. Like, I want to be on the right side of the future, and Ethereum seems like a real good bet to me. And, I mean, don't get greedy and hyped, but, I mean, I don't have the money to diversify too much, but if you do, do it outside of Bitcoin. I mean, for existing holders, hey, you're probably doing good because Bitcoin's gone up a lot. Do whatever you want. I just wouldn't buy in right now. It's too high and too risky. And patience is more than a week. I mean, months at least to a couple of years. I mean, if you buy in, again, in a year or two from now, I mean, it's guaranteed. Your value will go up a lot. And I am optimistic about Ethereum. I mean, anybody with the attention span of a fruit fly, I mean, you're going to be disappointed and probably get burnt. And, I mean, markets, I've already commented, I mean, they figure out a price faster now. Like, a year ago, you could have, like, bought some Bitcoin and sold a day or two later if you wanted to play that game, but I didn't really do that, but I think those days are gone. And in this market, I don't know why you'd want to. I mean, just hang on to it and watch them grow. And these cryptos are a hedge. I mean, articles say, you know, maybe this and maybe that, but they don't really say anything at all. But, I mean, I say cryptos are a hedge. It's like, I will say that. And, like, I think we all know it. I mean, I saw some dude, he was some British dude, he was saying like, Lewis Thomas, put like all his money into cryptos, and there are a lot of minute investors doing that every day, and it's adding up. And I think there's a lot of hope for people. I mean, it is a hedge. They seem to be going up, and little investors, again, I mean, he said Bitcoin and Ethereum were his two picks. And I mean, Ethereum's a good bet right now. Like, I think it's going to go up. And as far as the inflation argument, it's like, that's part of what got me. Like, older generations don't necessarily get what the point is. But I mean, they came from a time when a new truck was like $4,000 and wages were the same as they are today. I mean, prices are up. Inflation is up. Investment dividends and wages are way down. And people who don't understand cryptos are kind of rightfully defensive in their thinking, like thinking they're some kind of threat to their store of savings. But they're not. They're a way to protect against the really destructive forces out there. And brokers and financial advisors, I mean, they're chuckling and laughing off cryptos, but they're robbing us and our folks blind. And I mean, even mutual funds are just a diffusion of responsibility and a gambling impulse, and these guys are just lining their pockets off of our money that's sitting there not really doing anything. And no matter how much analysis or expertise you got, I mean, they can't see the future. And I mean, screw it. I mean, we need something, and I think the cryptos are real promising. And it seems like, I don't know, I think I get the feeling a lot of people kind of feel it in your core, like in your bones, like Winston in 1984, like something could be better and this could be it. And that would be huge if you're on the right side of this. There's a lot of hope riding on cryptos, and if you can look with unbiased eyes and with Bitcoin, read the writing on that wall, I mean, you could really ride the wind, and I think Ethereum's going to be one of the cryptos that really takes off. Like, I think a lot of people are increasingly aware of a number of factors and are fired up. I mean, cryptos are an interesting hobby for fun and profit, but it's also like a cause. Like, go green or no war. I mean, it can, and it's already like doing good. You might even get a dividend out of it. I mean, I try to spread the word to read up and jump on. I mean, get your own information and make your own decisions, but hey, read up on cryptos and tell other people too as well. And there's a lot of energy being channeled right now, and again, don't get carried away and get burnt trying to do something stupid in a day or two, but I think there are good times ahead for Ethereum. And with all cryptos, I mean, check them out, make your own decisions, but whatever you go with, get in anytime. It's still early.